And making a difference, our conversation with rock star philanthropist Bono, whose Product Red campaign is bringing in some serious green for a good cause. Nightly News begins now.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Brian Williams.
Friday night, time for our Making a Difference report. A lot of people know the Irish rock star Bono as the frontman for U2. We've come to know him as well for his fight against poverty and disease on a global scale. We followed him to Africa months ago to see for ourselves. It's been a year since he started the big campaign based on the color red. Big companies are helping, big money's being raised to help tens of millions of people in Africa. Here in New York, we sat down with Bono yesterday to talk about a fundraising milestone. 1 year since its launch, and Irish rock star Bono is celebrating the success of Red.
Red has been a big success, I'm delighted to tell you. I think it's $47 million goes into the Global Fund after our first year.
By buying products like Gap T-shirts, Red iPods, Red cell phones, consumers have contributed $47 million to the fight against the biggest killers in Africa, HIV, AIDS, malaria, and TB.
The idea is to make Red the star, not me. I mean, some people push back against it, you know, and it's irritating. Some people don't like the idea that companies can make profit, but we want them to make profit on this because it makes it sustainable.
Sustainable in places like Swaziland, where money from the Red campaign poured resources into clinics like this one. Once certain to die from AIDS, many here can now enjoy life again with just 2 pills a day.
I want all people to live my life. I want them to know that there is life after HIV.
When you take a woman like the woman we met named Lulu, pregnant, HIV positive, before this campaign, her life expectancy picture would have looked different. You can look at this through individual lives, can't you?
Yeah. Yeah, you know, our job, partly, and what your job is to turn statistics into flesh and blood, into people, get them to stand up off the page and walk. And when you meet an individual like Lulu and you realize that every day now there's another 1,400 Lulus getting put on medication because of America, this is the kind of America the world needs to see.
Money raised by the Red campaign has helped treat 1 million people with HIV and AIDS, over 2 million people with tuberculosis. It's helped over 20 million people get treated for malaria. Is there a message from your view, from Africa, from the view of the campaign against HIV, AIDS, and poverty, to the presidential campaign in the United States?
I've met with pretty much all of the candidates, spoken with them all. The place where the fight against extreme poverty connects with them, strangely, is in the war against terror. There's a real feeling in America that the world does not understand what America is about. Tackling global health problems and extreme poverty problems, meeting people where they live and trying to solve their problems for them, afford the United States a chance to redescribe itself to the world at a time when that might be very, very smart.
Part of our conversation with Bono. We put the rest of our conversation with him and more material on our website. That's nightly.msnbc.com.